My name is Biswajyoti Upadhyay. I am an ex-banker from Standard Chartered Bank, where I've worked for 26 years in multiple geographies, my last being in Hong Kong and China. I've been in this region for the last 15 years. My last role was doing business and technology transformation for corporate and investment banking, as well as heading sales for Greater China and North Asia region for transaction banking. Over the years, in different roles across corporate banking, transaction banking, in product, in sales, and running the business as a whole. For me, it has always been about what's happening within the corporate and investment banking space, which has got me interested, and which has also resulted me taking on positions as a part of being part of a board or as a non-executive director in some of the fintech ventures of Standard Chartered Bank as well. Thank you. The area for corporate and investment banking, and I think that's the most dynamic area because of what we see currently in geopolitics. So impact of trade because of geopolitics, the impact of what we are seeing in payment space because of payment platforms coming in, the way we are moving towards digitization of payments using either the platforms or stable coins or what is being discussed in the form of central bank digital currency. The last bit is what we see in the form of the global markets in itself, and that is including the securities business, where you look at custodies, fund admin services, foreign exchange because of the flows. So overall, I would say I'm really excited that we within the Financial Executive Club have chosen this as a vertical to deep dive into and to share our expertise, which is going to be very much linked to what we see as changes in the market due to the AI, due to the various reforms which are coming in, whether it is related to open banking, whether it's related to API. And therefore, I'm very keen to see how we are able to bring this out to be able to share in the form of snippets, in the form of videos, learning tools, etc., white paper to a wider public and to the subject matter people who are interested in this particular space. So I think 2026 we'll continue on some of the themes which we had picked up in 2025. So I mean, obviously the continuity of the geopolitics will remain, and therefore the impact of tariffs, what is happening in terms of the change of the trade flows from east to west to north to south, the development around AI, and therefore the impact which we see in terms of digitization, impact which we see in terms of ease of doing a payment or a trade transaction. The second part of it is, of course, continuing on stable coins and central bank digital currency and tokenization. The tokenization could be in terms of deposits, etc. So that would be the broad theme. We will also deep dive into working capital and the need of financing. I think a lot of it is also forgotten in this space, which we want to pick up, is the banking the unbanked, and how do we finance companies which are in the middle market SME space, where they need this, even though the interest rates are coming down, they are still high. So how do we actually help them in terms of that financing? And last but not the least, within the global trade space, to cover a bit around, what can we do to have export credit insurance, coverage around export credit insurance, and the support thereof. So that's broadly a lot to cover actually 2026, and I'm actually quite looking forward to it in terms of that, the knowledge building, the knowledge sharing, and how we can come out with papers which will allow to make this thing simpler and for our audience. So I think the panelists in my mind obviously would be subject matter experts. So whether they are coming in from the bank, from industry, from platforms, in certain cases from government or multilateral agencies, this is where we are encouraging the kind of panelists to come and join and share their thoughts, and to be able to have a open exchange in terms of what we can bring about in this particular space, and therefore be thought leaders going forward. In my mind, so there are certain things when you bring in such large group of people who are subject matter experts, into a forum, there are certain things which are given, where you look at networking, how do you able to actually bring peer-to-peer, conversations, etc. But what also brings in is industry insights. What also comes out from that is around, coming up with things which we see as future, and therefore to be able to openly discuss in the form of white papers, in the form of thought leaderships. And it could be something where we are actually able to then use that to engage industry bodies to be able to make those changes, okay, which we think would be helpful in future. And how do we bring that out in some of these discussions and then take it up and take it forward in the thinking process? I'm really excited about this committee around corporate and transaction banking. I'm hoping that the my industry peers, people whom I engage with, would also come and join. I would also encourage people from the various other areas, which is from the platform space, from industry, to come and share their views, because it is never complete without actually having the entire ecosystem together to be able to discuss on such diverse topics, which is currently impacting the entire changes which we see within the transaction banking space in the broader ambit of corporate banking. For me, the most exciting part is interacting with some of the experts, interacting with people who have strong views to share, and to be able to use those views to be able to make the change. And I think that's where we are looking at, and make this thing as a powerful tool to be able to come up with the right kind of materials which can be shared for training, which can be shared for preparing certain amount of forward-looking views, which can be then used in the industry.